Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to another episode of Quick Chats on my channel. Today we're talking about Spelunky 2. Now for those who don't know, there's a bunch of videos, I think about 7 or 8 episodes up on my channel right now on Spelunky. Spelunky 2. Spelunky 1 was released in 2008 as freeware on Windows. It is a game by Derek Yu, an action platformer that is incredibly difficult, which I never played. I saw it around, I saw my favorite YouTubers playing it, and I kind of watched, I think probably an episode of Northern Lion playing it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, because I fell in like years after. They did it daily or something. I was like, no, I have no idea what's going on, I'm not interested. And then when I heard 2 was coming out, I got quite excited, and then I watched probably 10 minutes of it, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm getting this. And yeah, I've played 13 hours of Spelunky 2, and I think that makes me an expert on the first level. Not even. Spelunky 2, for those who don't know, it is an incredibly difficult game with so many secrets and multiple paths and alternate paths that you can take. If you don't take any of the alternate paths, the game is, I think, about 6 stages long. Each stage is divided up into stage 1-1-2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, blah, 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 blah. On like that until you reach, I think 6 is the last one. If you just take the straightforward, no secret, no alternate endings path. But then on top of that, there are a bunch of alternate endings, and not alternate endings but alternate paths that lead to more character unlocks and a bit more lore, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Some interesting stages with interesting bosses and really cool characters past that point as well. And I've never gotten there. The furthest I've made it on camera, I think, is like 2-1. Off camera is about 2-3 on both the forest and the Volcanus path, which is after finishing the first stage, you go left to the forest, right to Volcanus. And I've realized that Spelunky is too hard for me. I really enjoy playing the game. There's nothing as nice as just kicking back, putting a Netflix show on your second monitor, and then on your primary, sit back, do a bit of Spelunky, and it's a really fun and wholesome time. For about 3 or so minutes, to the point where you've died about 12 times, and then it just gets rage inducing and triggering, and then you start playing it, and 5 minutes later you're clicking on the shortcut again because you want to play it. I would recommend a controller. The PC controls are absolute trash if you're planning on playing the game. Definitely use a controller. I rebound them to something that I thought would make sense, and then as soon as I fixed my controller and plugged it in, I was like, oh wait, this is 1,000 times better. So definitely, if you are looking at picking it up, you can find it on Steam. It is also on PlayStation. I don't know if it's on Switch or even going to Switch. I know it's not on Xbox, but definitely do pick that up. It is a really good time if you're into challenging roguelites. If you're not, watch some other people play it. If you're looking for good people to watch, Northern Lion, Bear Taffy, Michael L. Fox, Dan Giesling, they're all really good at the game. In comparison to the average person, they're incredible. And if you want to see them progress further and actually see more of the content in the game and the alternate paths and things like that, definitely check them out. I know Bear uploads like a 4-hour long VOD to YouTube, I think daily, of the progress he makes, and that could all be within the first 3 stages for 4 hours, or making it all the way to one of the secret endings, something like that. And if you want to see the good players play, check those guys out for sure. But if you want to see me play, there are 7 or 8 episodes out on YouTube of me dying in the first 5 minutes. I think I made it to like 9 minutes once offline. I was like, oh my god, a 9-minute run. I have ascended. But all in all, I don't make it very far. Now, what makes Spelunky such a fun game? There's a few aspects to it. Firstly would be the challenge. Similar to Dark Souls and I guess Hollow Knight, Salt and Sanctuary, any of the Souls-esque games, or the really challenging. There are even some JRPGs that are incredibly challenging that you can play if you enjoy challenging games. So if you're the kind of person that enjoys to pick up a challenging game and then run with it, I would definitely recommend checking those out. But as well as Spelunky, it is tough, but it is satisfying. There are a few parts in the game where you can absolutely ball. You just don't miss a jump. Everything you every plan you make, as soon as you see the screen, you're like, I'm going to go there, I'm going to do this, I'm going to jump on that guy, I'm going to slip under that, I'm going to pick that up, I'm going to throw that at that, and then that, bam, there's the door, I'm done. When that happens, you feel like you've ascended into the realm of Norse godship. You're sitting at the table of Valhalla, sipping ale with fucking, I don't know, Odin and Zeus. I mixed up my gods there. Anyway, my point is, you feel like a god at certain parts, and then you feel like the game is absolutely betraying you at others. It's like, how did that was on his head, how did that hit me? Or I grabbed onto that wall and I didn't, and then I died and fell in a pit of spikes. Or I didn't see that fucking trap, and how did that shopkeeper know how to like dodge that shot and then jump immediately afterwards and hit me with this fucking bullet wound shot from wanted? It has moments where you just want to absolutely take your screen and bash it against the wall. And it has moments where you feel like you've ascended. And that's what makes the actual gameplay incredibly fun. It's challenging, but easy to understand, very difficult to master. And that's what makes it fun. And then on top of that, the characters in the game are really cute and incredible and well designed. The route you can take and how they do the alternate routes is, as soon as it's figured out, you always remember it because it makes sense. And then on top of all of that is just the gameplay. It's crisp, it's clean, it's nice, it feels good, it's reactive. It doesn't feel like there's a delay or anything. And the soundtrack is really, really good. It's got dynamic music from dark levels to each I'm going to call them biomes. Each biome has its own soundtrack. And then in those biomes, there are alternate versions. Let's call them weather effects, whether it's dark or a graveyard effect or whatever the case might be, where the music slightly changes for that stage in that biome. So it'll always keep a certain theme, but it changes up, and it's so satisfying. It's good. And hearing the new music and making it further is an incredibly rewarding and fun experience. Now, while you're playing the game, you're going to find yourself getting insanely upset, and you're going to find yourself being incredibly excited when you die on the first stage 50,000 times, and then that one time you make it to the second stage and you're like, oh my god, what is this? This is new. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm dead. And then you die 50,000 more times just to make it to stage 2 one more time, and then you get to stage 2 and you make it through the first stage part of it, and then you die on the second one. You're like, oh my god, I want to get there again. Then it takes you 25,000 times where you die before making it to the second stage, and that you learn every little intricate interaction between the different characters, and cavemen yelling at each other and carrying your dog to the exit for extra HP, or sacrificing them on an altar to Kali for god damn it, I almost said Kali's cauldron again. Kali's chalice, which essentially gives you lifesteal after killing an enemy or injuring them. You can run over their body, pick up their blood, and then when you fill up the chalice, it gives you more HP. And all of these things lead into this very beautifully wound just gameplay, what to call it, like let's go with a well-woven tapestry of gameplay, where certain things interact with other things in a specific way where you would expect it to. And when you understand the mechanics and you make it further, and then you understand the nuances of the gameplay, which allows you to bounce off an enemy to get high, to get to this thing, instead of spending that resource that you could use later on, or just never use because you're going to fall into a pit of spikes. Those things are what make this game incredibly fun. And if that sounds anything like what you would enjoy, then I would really recommend hop onto Steam or onto the PlayStation Store and grab it. Support Derek. He is an incredible game developer, although half the time I'm yelling that I want to murder him. Nothing personal, that's just me looking for a scapegoat other than my own terrible gameplay. But if it is your speed, definitely check it out. Check out my channel. You can see a bit of me sucking for about 7 or 8 episodes, and then hopefully eventually we will ascend together to the second stage, and then hopefully ascend together into the third stage. Maybe one day if I'm lucky, one day if I'm a big boy and I can actually play this really difficult kids game. And yeah, it's not a kids game, by the way. There's way too much gruesome bodies slipping down spikes for it to be called a kids game. Any case, guys, thank you so much for tuning in for this quick chat. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. It is a bit of a ramble, but I'm done writing scripts and then scrapping them and writing them and then scrapping them. It's driving me insane. So I'm just going to turn this into a complete ramble series. So I hope you enjoyed my ramble. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay footage in the background. If you want to see more of it, definitely check out the channel and hit subscribe if you enjoyed what you see. And then I'll catch all of you in the next episode. Cheers, guys.